Who's in my bed?" Every night, it was the same routine. Peter, a dedicated father, would always tuck his 7-year-old son Ethan into bed. Without this ritual, Ethan found it hard to drift off to sleep. Tonight was no different, or so Peter thought. As he entered Ethan's dimly lit room, he noticed something peculiar. Ethan lay under his blanket, but there was a strange, unnerving grin on his face, one that stretched from ear to ear. "You okay, buddy?" Peter asked, a hint of concern in his voice. Ethan nodded, his grin unwavering. "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed," he said, his voice unusually calm. Peter chuckled softly, remembering the countless times he'd done this before. Kneeling down, he lifted the blanket and peered under the bed, expecting to find nothing but dust bunnies and old toys. To his horror, there, under the bed, was Ethan, his real son. Ethan's eyes were wide with fear, his face pale. He looked up at Peter and whispered, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed!" Peter's mind raced, trying to comprehend what he was seeing. His heart pounded in his chest as he slowly turned his gaze back to the bed, where the grinning figure still lay. "Who are you?" Peter demanded, his voice shaking. The figure on the bed didn't respond, but its grin seemed to grow wider. Peter reached for Ethan, pulling him out from under the bed and holding him close. He could feel his son's rapid heartbeat against his chest. Thinking quickly, Peter grabbed his phone and took a photo of the figure on the bed. As the flash went off, the figure vanished, leaving the bed empty. Peter's hands trembled as he looked at the photo. It showed only Ethan's empty bed. "What was that, Daddy?" Ethan asked, his voice barely a whisper. I don't know, buddy," Peter replied, still holding him tightly. "But you're safe now. Let's get out of here." Peter and Ethan left the room, making their way downstairs to the living room, where they would sleep for the night. They never spoke of the incident again, but Peter installed extra locks and checked under the bed every night just to be sure. From that day on, Peter made sure to never dismiss his son's fears as mere imagination. And Ethan, though he could never explain what happened, grew up knowing his father would always believe him, no matter how unbelievable his